What a great start to this one for Chewie, going with the just call with an awful lot of hand. Sub 17 BBs. Nut flush draw for Chewie. The gut shot in the back door working for Orpin. For this situation, again, sub 17, but these are real deal ranges playing this pot, if you will. Chewie goes for call, 200 in the middle.
Oh, and the 7 of spades slides right in, leaves Orpin drawing dead.
He does go for the hyper sneak and allows Orpin to slide into Broadway. A rather interesting development, if you will. Of course, it's the 4th spade, but Chewie can still have things like Jack X suited, King X suited. Orpin's about to be in a very awkward spot. I would imagine all time banks might get used here.
On.
Devilish little spot for Orpin here.
Yeah.
I could see paying off, albeit the bubble. It does get away, bravo, sir. Does put it in, Ali.
Sure does. As a line has been drawn in the sand. And now for Chewie, he has choices.
390.
Let's go for the click. Daniel is out.
I don't know what to do if he folded.
Ace?
No more queens coming. No more. I had a queen.
Diamonds?
Queen, jack of diamonds.
There are aces in the deck, though. Not on this flop, however.
Has the clubs working? Orpin, that is. And indeed still ace hunting.
Yeah, opportunities if the straight begins to materialize, which it does not. Board pairs, and it is 3 outs once here on this money bubble. Can Orpin find the ace? No, it's the jack of hearts.
Yeah, man. Take it.
And it is a somber and melancholic affair.
Sorry, bro.
It's all right. Yeah, tough day, be good run.
Good game, bro. Good game.
A lot of respect and a lot of love, a lot of sympathy and compassion being shown by his compatriots.
Indeed, a very good game to you, sir. Somebody has to stone
Queen, jack of
bubble.
diamonds.
Yeah, we would have.
Look at that.
And that is bad news for Justin Bonomo.
Limp check here.
Sitting with 14 bigs roughly at present.
15-25, as you said. Open ender working for Bonomo. Top pair, backdoor diamonds for Negreanu. Interesting. 75 in the middle.
60,000.
D-Negs comes out swinging.
He's swinging to the tune of 60 into 75, a kind of uncomfortable size to navigate against. Bonomo eyeing his chips.
All in.
And Justin choosing to jam here with the open ender.
But he was Ali, and he finds himself as a 3-2 dog for his tournament life.
We're going spinning. 715K in the middle. Justin Bonomo currently in need of a 4, 9, or a jack to complete a straight or make a bigger pair. Instead, it's the queen of diamonds, and unfortunately for Justin, that will remove some outs from the top of the screen, as any diamond variant of the aforementioned no longer serves his purposes. That smirk is with good reason, as he has 9 outs once to stay alive. Burn down. The river is a jack.
It does come right in, the jack of spades.
240.
240.
Indeed, a problem for Bonomo just south of 40 BBs. Button big blind, four-handed.
All in.
Oh, and he does jam.
Call.
Chewie snap calls.
Yeah.
Bonomo will see the bad news. Chewie
Trouble.
finds himself as a 4-1 favorite.
Too deep, perhaps, to make this play with the eights, or it's sound?
Not certain. Ali call sort of spoke to me. A lot of things speak to you from the booth, though. It's understandable. A lot of hand. Button big blind, but 40 BBs.
And a frisky, lucky Chewie at times.
A
out of
very
the big.
frisky, lucky Chewie. That's a great point. Seemingly reasonable procedures, and again, Chewie finds himself as a 4-1 favorite. Deuce 3 queen, clean. Spades working for Chewie as well.
Those jacks beginning to take a flamethrower to the snowmen as you can feel the melt. Bonomo binked a jack to stay alive against Negreanu
that'll
earlier,
do it. Good
and the
game, sir.
turn is a jack for Chewie,
Doesn't
which
get
leaves
much
the
cleaner
eights.
than that. Very good game to you, sir.
Drawing dead.
Good.
Love shown.
And then there were 3, Ali.
You got to go with the lamb chop. That, of course, being the Lambeau.
Top 2 for Negreanu. The Lambo's not really my thing, but I hear you. That's more your speed. You seem like the kind of guy pulling up and like a, you know, I mean, I know you've fallen on some hard times via the market and your gambling endeavors, but when you run it back up, you seem sort of like a Lambeau kind of guy. As we see Chewie fighting with the 10-5, Petrangelo top 2.
Go on record right now.
Chewie with a very key card.
I'm just saying, out of that list, that's what I'm getting. Petrangelo didn't like the dampness of that Jack of Hearts. Just kind of calls the 45,000. The 4 diamonds is a welcome sight, though.
Perhaps a very extreme sizing choice from Chewie might do it.
360.
And he does go for B150.
Call.
Does get snapped. Petrangelo will see the good news, Ali. Petrangelo defends.
Queen 6 tray, 2 overcards to the nickels, 1 to the jacks.
Check.
Kind of a nice card for both boys.
Check.
2 tones out there.
Check.
Still, Chewie does not bet. And that 3 also strikes me as quite nice. Might Petrangelo be targeting some ace high with a bet here? Or just check and look to induce bluff catch? Maybe the latter preferred?
120.
He does just go for half pot. I was wondering myself, thus the silence, Ali.
360.
He does find the raise even versus half pot.
10 seconds.
Call.
Go.
What a
Yeah.
great play from Chewie there.
Begrudgingly, but the size was so right and the line was so plausible for an ambitious ace high, maybe.
Me.
Jack deuce turns into jacks on the all club board, but it is up against top pair for Negreanu. Now the turn giving Chewie the lead with trip jacks as he checks again. And a snap check back for Negreanu, who rivers kings full. Only 120 out there, but more inbound.
Yeah, the best hands seem to change on every street. More inbound indeed. Chewie goes for 90 into 120, 75%. After the ensuing raise from Daniel, very awkward navigations for Chewie. See if he can get away. Hard spot.
Going to a bank here is Daniel. Occasionally these are employed despite some premeditation in an effort to perhaps sell the idea that real considerations in terms of whether or not to put the raise in were afoot.
Yeah, and I think against this kind of friendly size, for lack of a better, we just pay off. This would really be outstanding if Chewie finds the fold.
Well, his man checked back 2 streets and
Yeah,
suddenly will show us the king.
The king is very possible in that line. You could check twice easily, but it's just, he went with a smallish raise after time banking. Does get away, I'll tell you what.
But here we are seeing truly a broad-ranging deployment of approaches from Negreanu, who is dominated heading to this Jack-9-7 board by the King-Queen of Petrangelo. Nikki P, the opener, to a $10. And Negreanu with the two-way straight draw interacting quite nicely. Check, check, and now the Queen of Diamonds slides right in to give Negreanu the nuts and Petrangelo top pair.
Very much a terrible card for Petrangelo. He goes for half pot. Nick drawing to the chop. A little bit cold button BB three-handed.
No doubt.
Comes with call.
Go.
175 rather. Oh, and a terrible card for Petrangelo. Let's see if Negreanu elects to go for check raise or just pursues big value straight away. Whatever the case may be, disastrous river for Nikki P, Ali.
Already spent a $175 on the turn to take this card, which he imagines is a good one for him. Oh, Negreanu decides to slip it to him.
Indeed he does.
Reptilian.
$645 in the middle.
180.
180.
180.
Very interesting sizing choice from Petrangelo. To be continued on that.
Both of us anticipating something meatier.
Raise.
Daniel goes for 580.
580.
Not often you see a vegan deliver the meat, but there it is.
Call.
Go.
Straight.
Does pay it off, Ali.
It didn't make a meal of it.
A
either.
vegan delivery of the meat. And Petrangelo sees the bad news. What an incredible pickup for Negreanu. He says he offsuit king here. 11.5 bigs for Chewie. Does go in. Daniel squeezing.
What's
and
the
has
total?
him in all sorts of
575.
bad shape. Ali.
A shared 6 with an ace.
575.
Negreanu.
That's 11 big blinds and a bit. This is an obvious slam dunk, but I kind of like the situation right now. We're having fun, but should we double up old Chewie there? Chewie want to get doubled up? I'm gonna have to gamble with Chewie.
Well, he does want to
Need
get
a
doubled up.
mandatory call.
That's unfortunate.
This does not appear to be the time, and that's unfortunate is an understatement, perhaps. 23% is the king 6.
Dire straits for Chewie as it stands,
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah.
Big flop
Maybe I'll be
coming.
fortunate.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, it's a flip.
The coin
Some way to look at it.
very weighted toward ace-6. The flop, ace, deuce, deuce, and now the diamond
Diamond.
does work.
Has the diamonds working? Has
That is a
deuce, deuce
possibility.
working? Chop it up, quads with an ace. Or running kings.
Turn card, help needed, and the 10 of
game,
hearts
Chewie.
is not it.
Nice battle, bro.
Yeah. Good game, guys.
That was a pleasure.
It was a lot of
Hey,
fun.
man, cheers.
Yeah.
Lichtenberger gave it all he had and did
Where did
so
they make it
with
sit? Did I have to go to the
class
end?
I'm
and
not sure.
grace.
As he always does, Ali. Congratulations, Chewie.
In order.
Third is a fantastic result. They're getting on with it, Ali.
They're playing for $1 million right now. Advantage Negreanu, who's gotten a real spot to start this one. And the advantage continues in the form of ace-king out of the big blind, smothering this king-8. Petrangelo's going to hang in there. These are big, significant investments. No returns on the 9-3 deuce board. But the king of spades does work. Check back from Daniel now. Check, rather. Forgive me.
Petrangelo stabs on the strength of his king of spades. Future ideas, perhaps. Negreanu still with a ton of hand. He's in. Ace of clubs, king of hearts.
Oh, and now an ace of diamonds on the turn leaves Petrangelo drawing dead.
Potentially leadable card for Daniel in this line. Limp raise call, check bet call, and now the ace. A very favorable development. Seemingly a nice idea here from Daniel, albeit it didn't pan out as far as Petrangelo having any connection. But he extends his lead, Ali. 6.3 now for Negreanu, just 8.85 for Petrangelo.
Ace on the button. Now he asks for it all. Nicky P with King Jack makes the call. We're going to spin the wheel here early.
Best hand for Negreanu, all in for the W, Ali. Good luck, gentlemen.
Deuce 3, or just ace. Ace, deuce 3. Ace.
What a huge moment this is for Daniel.
All in win. Ace to the face.
Willing an ace out there. Instead he gets a couple of clubs.
Fair fight, if you will.
King now. Ace still.
Gutter plus the clean cards for Petrangelo. 10 outs. And the king comes in on the turn. Daniel taking his seat, shaking his head, but does have 3 outs. Is an ace available to end this thing right here, right now? Or will Petrangelo double up? The river, another king, trips for Nicky P. And he's going to haul in 1.1 plus
535.
when it's said and done.
Can be.
Salivary glands have been activated.
Goes for limp. Queen 10 off for Negreanu. Checks.
Monotone king high board.
Middle pair ace kicker for Petrangelo indeed. Negreanu with the 10 of spades. Ali queen high.
Picks up the gutter. Aces and 5s now for Nicky P.
50.
Goes for third. Interesting spot for Daniel. I think we often go for call. I suppose raise isn't out of the question. Perhaps it is. 250 in the middle. Clean river for Petrangelo. 7 of diamonds. And for Daniel, still something of a decision with ace, king, queen, 10, 5, and the flush blocker. Petrangelo goes for full pot. Again, that limping range is so wide in this BB ante format. Things like 3-8 offsuit, so on. There are hands that we beat, albeit queen high, but
10 seconds.
fold would be a normal route to go.
Time bank utilized here. Negreanu wondering just how often Nicky P is firing here with worse than queen 10. Oh, and he pays off.
Good.
Pretty key payoff there in terms of Pietrangelo, as the collar can be loosened a touch with 30-plus bigs.
Call.
Another limped one pre, Jack 9-5, bottom pair for Negreanu. This ace-king slithered its way in on the button. Checks back, picks up the Broadway draw, courtesy of the queen.
100.
It's 9s and 5s, by the way, for Negreanu. Apologies.
Very sneaky procedures from Pietrangelo. Indeed, 9s and 5s for Negreanu. Goes for 100 into 150. Nick, of course, in.
Now it's 5s full for Daniel. Overkill.
Very much overkill and highly tricky road for Pietrangelo. As you often espouse when the board pairs on the end, it doesn't really change, if you will. All of the 10-4s of the world and so on have now missed. Hard spot for Pietrangelo here. Definitely call sometimes.
He's thinking about it. 300 is 30% of his remaining stack, though.
Extension.
One day you're gonna bluff, right?
Full house.
Not today. A pricey cape.
One day perhaps, but not today, if you will. 7 suited for Daniel now. Puts him in. Nick with an offsuit king. 10 BBs with the big blind ante. He's counting down, Ali. Does call. Best hand.
Decides to
All right.
defend on the
Fair
strength
fight.
of a king.
No pair against no pair. Let's have the worst hand win again. 3
Recognizing.
clubs, queen. Let me win it all in. One time. Let's just do it. This is the one, right? You win it all in with the worst hand? Come on. Begging.
Would be willing to get after him with less
Do
than a
it.
king, as we see here.
Do it.
To the flop.
Oh, and he slides into a commanding lead here. Top pair with the clubs working.
Bazooka. Just 2 red kings. For the time being, can rescue Nick Pietrangelo from a second place fate. Can hardly look. Now the board pairs, and it is indeed just 2 outs, 1 time.
What a feeling this must be for Daniel. For Nick, the light is dimming.
Will the monkey finally be removed from Daniel's back over the better part of these last 2 years? The answer is yes.
Congrats, man.
Cheers. Thanks, buddy.
player.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
As he takes the worst of it and rides it to glory. 3.3
Remember the
million
exit
plus.
interview from the other one? Oh, yeah!
Queen 7 suited for Daniel now. Puts him in. Nick with an offsuit king. 10 BBs with the big blind ante. He's counting down, Ali. Does call. Best hand.
Decides to
right.
defend on the
Fair
strength
fight.
of a king.
No pair against no pair. Let's have the worst hand win again. 3
Recognizing.
clubs, queen. Let me win it all in. One time. Let's just do it. This is the one, right? You win it all in with the worst hand? Come on. Begging.
Would be willing to get after him with less
Do
than a
it.
king, as we see here.
Do it.
To the flop.
Oh, and he slides into a commanding lead here. Top pair with the clubs working.
Bazooka. Just 2 red kings. For the time being, can rescue Nick Pietrangelo from a second place fate. Can hardly look. Now the board pairs, and it is indeed just 2 outs, 1 time.
What What a feeling this must be for Daniel. For Nick, the light is dimming.
Will the monkey finally be removed from Daniel's back over the better part of these last 2 years? The answer is yes.
Congrats, man. Cheers. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
As he takes the worst of it and rides it to glory. 3.3
Remember the
million
exit
plus.
interview from the other one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What'd I tell you? How do you get them chips? How do you get them chips when you play some defense? Oh, yeah. We got them all.
Good game, man.
Thanks, bud.
Congrats.
Oh, yeah. Macho Man told you what was going to happen, didn't he? All this pretty money right here. Oh, yeah. You step into my ring right here at the Super High Roller Bowl, eh? Ooh, that felt good. I won with the worst hand all in. Oh, let's go.
You did it, pal. Monkey off his back, if you will. What a win. Super High Roller Bowl 7 champ, Ali.
Hats off to all 4 of the players in the money. Bonomo, 720. Chewie, 1.15. Nikki P, the most disappointed you'll see a man taking home $2 million will ever be. And for Negreanu, elated. $3.3 million richer. As the payout's brought to you by Hair Club. Let's send it down to Jeff Platt, who is standing by with your Super High Roller Bowl 7 champion.
Well, Daniel, congratulations. What's it feel like to come out on top of this one?
I got to tell you, like the last 2 years, I hate whining about bad luck. It's the worst. Like nobody wants to hear it, right? I've been feeling it. My wife, when I come home, she feels what it's like so frustrated. You feel like you're playing well and the results are not there. And you hear the internet, Daniel, we got to play your way. You know what? I just did play my way and it felt really, really good. And I felt super confident coming into this one. Deep stack, no limit hold'em. You know, not all this all-in stuff. I'm petrified to go all in. Like, I don't ever want to be all in any state. But actually, in this tournament, I was never all in, like for my tournament life, which is a blessing.
You touched on it briefly. We've talked a lot about resilience over these last 2 years. Is this win proof of just how important resilience is?
Absolutely. Listen, everybody goes through it. If you play poker for a living, you're going to go through streaks. I've been playing 30 years, right? What good is it of me telling you? Like, I promise you, the last 2 years and all this has been the worst I've ever seen. And if you told me this happened to you, I'd be going, you're just playing bad. I'm like, no, I'm really playing well. I swear. I tell Paul when I come in every day, I'm like, buddy, I'm playing good. you know, what's going on here? But, I tested out some things at the Poker Masters, and I put them into play there, and I really started with some new material, if you will, and found it really, really effective. I think, like, if people talk about no limit hold'em, right, and solving it, there's an evolution still to be had, right? Especially deep stack poker, 100 deep, adding that limping strategy that nobody studies for, and I knew that going into this, and I'm like, I don't think they're going to be prepared as I am. I've been doing it for 3 decades.
What's it mean to you to win a Super High Roller Bowl ring, especially considering this kind of competition?
A few years ago, I was heads up for one, a Super High Roller Bowl, had the big crowd of friends come, and I'm like, I punted, because I was like trying to get out with them. And this year I told people, I said, don't come. Really, don't come. Let me just win this, and I'll come home, we'll open a bottle of champagne, and then we'll go to the hockey game tomorrow. And, just let me do my thing,
Time for that champagne. But first, it's an honor of mine to present you with your
What a pretty ring.
High Roller Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah, I'll wear that.
You can take it
Love
out the box.
Sweet.
That is yours.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Check it out.
Right there. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Your Super High Roller Bowl 7 champion, Daniel Negreanu.
All right.
Couldn't be happier for that man right there. He came, he saw, he conquered, Nick.
Indeed he did, Ali. What a performance from Daniel. What a win, And his interview there really said it all. It was a great sweat these last few days, Ali.
Really
I
was.
enjoyed it. Honored to be in the booth for events such as this.
Pleasure to be alongside you as always. We certainly hope you all enjoyed coverage of Super High Roller Bowl 7. On behalf of our entire crew here in Las Vegas and my partner Nick Schulman, this is Ali Nejad saying congratulations, Daniel, and good night from Las Vegas.